SuperHot is without a doubt one of the best shooters on the one of the most innovative shooters I've played in years. Alright, all jokes and glitches aside, SuperHot is amazing. Notice how I said amazing, not incredible or godlike. That's because the game has plenty of cons. It's just that they're balanced out by the pros. Now, spoiler warning, many parts of the game will be spoiled, so unless you've already played the game or don't plan on getting it ever, continue on. But for those who want it, please click off now. Alright, let's get started. Now, according to this Wikipedia article I found, SuperHot is an independent first-person shooter video game developed and published by the SuperHot team. Though the game follows traditional first-person shooter gameplay mechanics, with the player attempting to take out enemy targets using guns and other weapons, time within the game progresses at normal speed only when the player moves. This creates the opportunity for the player to assess their situation in slow motion and respond appropriately, making the gameplay similar to strategy video games. The game is presented in a minimalist art style, with enemies in red and weapons in black, in contrast to the otherwise white and gray environment. Jeez, all that words for a short game. Basically, what this first part explained is that SuperHot is a first-person shooter when, wherever you move, time does as well. And it's a mix of puzzles and strategies and slow but also fast-paced combat if you're a hardcore gamer. Nowadays, you don't see a lot of slow-motion video games, so this game was a game changer. Haha, get it? Game changer because it's a game. Back when it was released in 2015. No one really knew about it, of course, because, well, it wasn't that popular at first. But of course, the attraction started to pick up, and now it's back where it was, forgotten and not known. Now, SuperHot was a Kickstarter that raised over $250,000. Wow, jeez. For raising that money, it's a shame that people say they completely ruined it. Now, they planned to raise it to $300,000, but it didn't happen. But despite this, they released the game after years of working on it. So, now let's get to the story, or, gameplay at least. The gameplay is quite interesting. It allows room for casual, hardcore, and speedrunning play. Now, hardcore and speedrunning gameplay are like the same thing. Instead of moving slow, you go as fast as you can, trying to dodge bullets in real time. This game is, to most people, reminded them of that of The Matrix, which I can agree with. You have to fight a bunch of red guys, which is what they are referred to in game, in slow motion, and dodge their bullets and prioritize a bunch of targets at the same time. Although I said earlier this game allows casual play, that might be a lie, because this game is freaking hard. Seriously, even though I've beaten all the levels before more than once, I still died multiple times because either I failed to notice a red guy behind me, or I used a terrible strategy and did a bad job at prioritizing. This game, although is referred to as a puzzle game with strategy and action, isn't a puzzle game to the creator. He just thinks of it as a normal first-person shooter with strategy. But anyway, I can't exactly tell what the genre of SuperHot is. It has horror elements, but also a first-person shooter kind of gameplay. Now, according to the SuperHot website, SuperHot is a first-person shooter, but that doesn't make sense to me, as it has horror elements in it, as I mentioned earlier, such as the main menu. Now, you may think it's scary, but there's a thing on the main menu where you can watch a video of SuperHot stuff. Two of them are just kind of boring. One of them, titled rsm.avi, is what makes SuperHot get more creepiness. Here's the video.
These people are completely fine. They are just enjoying a new exciting video game. Video games have been scientifically proven to improve problem solving and motor skills, spatial awareness, social skills, and stress control. Although it takes just 10 seconds to play, this game brings endless competitive entertainment to you, your family, and your friends.
Pretty scary, right? Just people screaming while distorted text-to-speech plays in the background. They also have little mini-games in the game too. One of them where you infinitely chop down a tree until you fail. But of course, everyone only plays for the campaign in endless mode that is unlocked after beating the really short campaign. So, For a short explanation, SuperHot is a first-person shooter, according to the creator, that was made because of a Kickstarter. When the game was released, it was highly acclaimed. When it was released, it had some other interactions on the menu screen where it gives more proof. This game is a unique FPS. So, SuperHot has a vague story, but we will look at that story later. Right now, we are going to talk about some cons. So, here's the first one. The campaign is really short. If you guys don't know what a campaign is in a video game, basically, it's the main story or levels of the game that you complete to either beat the game or unlock more things as a reward for completing the campaign. SuperHot's campaign is short and doesn't exactly give you a reward besides endless mode, and also the ability to play levels that you beat again if you want to do again. Another problem is that the game is quite short. Yeah, I know, I just said the campaign was really short, but I mean, you can complete this game in one sitting. If you have maybe 1 or 2 hours of spare time, you could probably complete this game, assuming you're not a boomer and can't complete the first level. Now, that's all the cons that I thought of. Most people who don't exactly like this game would agree with those points. But since I only listed a few examples of things that could be improved about it. I heard some people say the story didn't exactly exist in the game and was terrible, but even though the thing is though, the story's about you, the player, illegally cracking, or just illegally downloading a game that costs money for free. I don't want to spoil anything more than that because our next point is entirely about the story. Alright, so we talked about the cons. Now the story. The story is one of the worst things about this game according to some people, but I will be the big brain and figure out the complexity of this chronicle of depiction. Yes, I'm big brain, now shut up and listen. This is the final part of this video. We will end off with a story, how great it is, how bad it is, and most importantly, is the story important to the game? So here you go. I had to get this from a user on Reddit as this explains it way better than I could. The system captures you and forces you to separate from your body by, in quotation marks, killing yourself in the VR chair, allowing your mind to eventually integrate with the system. Once your mind is integrated in the system, you no longer have free will and your only thoughts are to promote SuperHot. The game messes with your head all throughout the game by doing stuff like forcing you to say, I just want to get back to the game, in the middle of a bunch of boring dialogue as you're thinking, I just want to keep playing, IRL. The idea is that you are, in real life, a part of the system now, and you don't even know it. This is further reinforced by the Killstagram, which pushes you to share clips which make people want to play the game. Plus, there's literally a menu that says recruit.exe, which, when clicked on, takes you to a discount for the game, with a message praising you for obeying the system and the game/devs. Are you infiltrating the core, or is the core infiltrating you? You don't even care because you're the one now. All there is SuperHot. Now, I forgot to mention this part about talking about you entering the core, so here it is. When you enter the core, your mind is rejecting the control, but each time you're forced out to play more of the game, which just makes you want to get even that much more. Every time you fail, it pushes you to allow the system in. So, yeah, pretty interesting story, even though it's quite vague. Thanks for watching. This video was something I wanted to make for a long time, and I really enjoyed making it, so I guess I'm kind of doing these reviews and stuff to hopefully bring my channel back to life, because, nothing I do ever works. But again, I will say that I will start my new channel after I'm So Good At series is finished. I also want to say that I will soon release the Thunder video, which may be popular, after I leave, just so that my channel can at least grow while I'm gone. So yeah, hope to see you guys soon.